Now, we all know how great Kawhi is on the floor. One of the best two-way players ever, a two-time Finals MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. But that's the problem. He's never on the court. Kawhi has missed 41% of his games ever since he joined the Clippers back in 2019. Over 2 seasons worth. Over these years, people have questioned Kawhi's commitment to the game, saying he's taking it easy or he only plays when he wants to bag.
Worst superstar in the history of any sport. You can't have somebody like that and it's beneficial, who's going to miss work half the time and does absolutely nothing to promote your product or your.
But due to new information that's been brought to light, Kawhi's injury may have been due to the Clippers' disregard for his care. Well, according to this article, an ex-Clipper staff member, close friend, who's worked with Kawhi ever since Kawhi was at San Diego State, has issued a lawsuit over unlawful termination due to him questioning how the Clippers have handled Kawhi and his care. This actually starts back in 2017, which is when the Clippers were allegedly trying to lure Kawhi over to them. Shelton claims the Clippers leapt well beyond the bounds of the NBA Constitution, which may sound true because we have heard rumors that back in 2019 Kawhi wouldn't sign with the Clippers unless they got Paul George, and if they didn't, he'll go to the Lakers, essentially blackmailing the Clippers to meet his demands. Shelton claims the Clippers contacted him as early as 2017 during Kawhi's quad injury. Clippers asked Shelton to seek private health information and spoke 15 times over the phone and met 7 times. Then in 2018, when Kawhi's future with the Spurs was in air, Spurs president R.C. Buford said he was exploring all options for Kawhi. Now, obviously, we all know he went to Toronto and won the championship, but Shelton was being lured to the Clippers so Kawhi would be enticed to join them. The lawsuit alleges that the Clippers are violating Article 35, which basically says you can't directly or indirectly lure players in. Another weird part that corroborates the Clippers trying to lure Kawhi was Doc Rivers' $50,000 fine of when he said Kawhi was like MJ, obviously complimenting him, but could be seen as trying to butter him up to come over to play for them. Kawhi signed with the Clippers on July 2019 at the same time Shelton was also hired, but over time he felt he was being excluded out from the Clippers, them not sharing info with him, to him not getting involved into private meetings. Then some time passed. In the second round of the 2021 playoffs, Kawhi tore his ACL.
He's limping.
And the crowd just went a little quiet. I couldn't tell if they just bumped knees on that play.
He grabbed the right leg right away.
He did take a step there.
Yeah.
After the injury, his timeline to return was supposed to be 2 years, but the Clippers couldn't have that. They were trying to win, trying to compete now, trying to get to Larry O'Brien, so they brought him back in 16 months instead of 24. And this is where the problems start. Because in the beginning of the 2022 season, Leonard complained of swelling, which made him miss 2 weeks, also ruptured some ligaments in his right leg, which also made him miss some time due to that. But because Kawhi is a robot, he was ready to play Game 1 of the playoffs. And in that Game 1, he scored 38 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and had a pair of steals and blocks to go with that. Clippers won that game, looked good, on to Game 2. And in that Game 2, Kawhi followed up, scoring 31 points, had 7 assists, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals to go along with that. Now the Clippers did lose, but Kawhi looked great. Then we got the report that Kawhi would not be playing in Game 3 due to a sprained right knee. Didn't seem all too bad. People just thought, you just load manage him, coming back for Game 4. Little did we know, though, he also missed Game 4, then Game 5, and the Clips lost in 5. Then a little bit past that, we found out that Kawhi wasn't dealing with a sprained right knee. He had a torn meniscus in his right knee, which would sideline him for months. Now here's where the lawsuit comes in. A little after that, Randy Shelton wrote a complaint to Lawrence Frank, the president of Clipper basketball's operations, saying that they mishandled Kawhi's injuries and that is totally unacceptable. Frank gave him the corporate response of, yeah, we'll look into that, then fired him that summer, also allegedly not paying his wages that he was owed. Shelton's attorneys say they will help with any investigation that comes to them. The crazy part of all this is that we thought Kawhi was just taking it easy and relaxing, but if these allegations are true, there could be fines, firings, more lawsuits, lost draft picks, and so much more. So what I think will happen is one of two options. Is A, the Clippers are found guilty. Randy Shelton wins the lawsuit. They lose picks. They get fined. And people start to look at Kawhi differently. As a victim, maybe that the Clippers organization was hasty with him, that they didn't take care of the star player the right way, and the narrative will shift. But to me, at least, whatever happens doesn't really matter. The whole Kawhi experiment in LA was a massive failure. Him and PG missing time, and where they were together, sometimes playing bad, choking playoff games, and no finals appearances for this duo. Yeah, this loss is actually pretty crazy. I actually recommend you guys go check it out. Another crazy story is actually why the Milwaukee Bucks need to win the championship this year. From Giannis putting pressure directly and indirectly on the front office. This is going to be Doc Rivers' first year starting. So that's another crazy story going on at the East.